So to touch on my earlier video, we now find out that it looks, to all intents and purposes, definitely that Wilder will be fighting Brazil. I've got to say, the title of this video is going to be called "The WBC a Joke," and that is what they are, and it's what I've said all along. People going on about the WBC is the most illustrious belt. Well, let me just point this out. WBA is the oldest belt, originally called NBA, 1921. It changed its name in '61 when to WBA when WBC come out, and the reason was they were known as National Boxing Association. Obviously, WBC come out, World Boxing Council. Ooh, we better change our name because we just seem like a national boxing belt. And they probably stuck with that name, to be fair, National Boxing Association, because let's be honest and be fair, all the heavyweight champions have been, or most champions have been American. They had. Since Bob Fitzsimmons, after him, they were American. They probably didn't feel a need to change it. It was seen as America's belt, wasn't it? Fair enough. That's fair enough. At the time, you know, great fighters: Joe Louis, Jack Dempsey, Jack Johnson, Rocky Marciano, Sonny Liston, etc., etc., etc. So, but it really annoys me. This WBC is the most illustrious. Well, let me tell you how it's the most illustrious. It's the most illustrious because of Muhammad Ali. Because Muhammad Ali held it, and he made it famous. It was the one he paraded and stuff. I love Muhammad Ali dearly, but you cannot make a belt the most illustrious and famous for that reason. If you're going to say that is the most illustrious thing, then you are saying what you're doing is tarnishing Rocky Marciano, Joe Louis, Jack Dempsey, Jack Johnson, you know, and many others. You know, I could run through Max Schmeling, even, you know, they all held what became the WBA belt, the NBA, the heavyweight belt. They all held that. Ali never held that belt in its original form, but these guys did. So how can people say, you know, I've had mainly Wilder fanboy, but even some others say to me, no, the WBC, that's had the most greatest champions hold it. Has it? Joe Louis never held it. Rocky Marciano never held it. First man to hold it that I'm aware, I could be wrong, was Sonny Liston. Jack Johnson never held it. Jack Dempsey never held it. And we can go on and on and on. Willard, Tunney, Bear, Schmeling, you know, excuse me, it's laughable. Surely the oldest belt is the most illustrious, and I keep banging this out there because, you know, for instance, to switch it to football, you know, you couldn't create another European Cup and say, well, oh, because the Barcelona team that recently held it, and because in this age they were more famous, that's the most important trophy. It doesn't work like that at all. People say to me, well, yeah, but that's the one that Fraser held, and that's the one that Lennox Lewis held, and that's the one that Muhammad Ali held, and Mike Tyson. And I love all them fighters, but it does not mean, to me, when people say that, it does not mean, that means you're saying that what Joe Louis and people and that did before doesn't matter. Forget them. They're a load of trash. Forget them. Boxing started with Muhammad Ali. Boxing never started with Muhammad Ali at all. You know, and these are the things that get me wound up and passionate, as you can probably tell. So yeah, it's become a joke to me, the belt. Certainly recently, I mean, it's become a joke for the reason that they've let this title holder, I won't even call him a champion, Wilder hold their title for 3 years, over 3 years now, getting on 3.5 years now. I think he's had one bona fide mandatory defence in that time. One. Because Stavern, how the hell did Stavern end up in that fight? And they're doing the same now with Ortiz. In having Ortiz fight Dillian Whyte. I was right. This is what I've come back to as well. I was right earlier. Dillian Whyte had a fight off for it against a final eliminator against Hellenius, a final eliminator against Lucas Brown. These are all for the WBC. And now they're asking him to have another final eliminator against Luis Ortiz, which is fine by me in facing Ortiz as a fight. But he should not. And then Dominic Breazeale, who's ranked number 2, now gets the shot at the title. So forgive me for the language here, but what the fuck has Dillian Whyte been fighting these guys for on the basis of a final eliminator? They're taking the piss, is what they're doing. Well, they're taking the piss and protecting this Wilder. Because they're protecting Wilder, but they're also protecting their own belt. They want to keep it in America. Because if Breazeale somehow manages to cause an upset and beat him, it'll still stay in America. WBC has never liked anyone outside of America having that belt. And that's a fact. That's a fact. They've been difficult with Vitaly Klitschko in the past. They were difficult with Lennox Lewis in the past. They do not like that belt going out of America. And that is a cold, hard fact. An absolute fact. They forced Bruno, only got a shot at McCall, but you've got to face Tyson next. Who was that? The WBC. You need bringing to task, like a video I was saying in one of my first videos. It's an absolute joke of an organisation, and as far as I'm concerned, not the most important belt. It's a joke of a belt. I think Sporting said, what did he call it now? The Toys R Us belt. Yeah. Toys R Us belt. It just smacks of corruption. Smacks of corruption. Thanks for listening, guys. Like, subscribe. Give me a bit of stick. Above all, take care. I'll speak to you again soon.